Am I the a-hole for not giving my wife who doesn't work more pocket money? I'm 27, can't help but feel like an asshole about the situation, and my wife, 23, has been calling me an asshole the whole week. Meanwhile, our close family are taking my side and friends are split. I, for one, don't see what I can do. For context, we live in Europe. The issue is the following. My in-laws have the amount of money they give my watch each month, and she wants me to make up the difference out of pocket. Why are his in-laws why are they still giving her pocket money? She's married off. For it to make sense, I have to explain our finances. Yeah, thank you. I am a medical resident, my pay is ish, frankly, but it doesn't matter because I have real estate properties and make a decent amount of passive income from rent. My wife does not work because she is still in law school and her time is full between that and taking care of our son, 2-year-old. So here is the situation. 20% of my income goes straight into our savings. This I will not budge on, come hell or high water. About 40-60% goes into household expenses. This includes the nanny, housekeeper. There's a nanny? Food, gas, electricity, and my wife's school expenses. The percentage varies each month, of course, but lately, due to the war, all these expenses have risen, so it's always on the higher side. The rest of the money is split between my wife and I, but not evenly, and here is why. Before we even got married, my wife had an agreement with her parents. As long as she stayed in law school and kept her grades high, she would receive minimum wage from them, so that she didn't have to work and could focus on school. When we got married, I promised to give her half of what her parents gave her each month. This way, our monthly pocket change would be roughly the same. This agreement has worked for the past 4 years. Unfortunately, this midterm, her grades dropped. They're not terrible, mind you, but her parents have high standards, so until she can get her grades back up in February, they said that half her monthly pay. I kept the amount I give her the same. Essentially, she receives minimum wage now. This sounds like such a bad... This sounds so wrong in so many weird ways that I can't express. She's married off, so they should be taking care of their household. Okay, parents want to help, that's great. But they punish her for her grades still as she's out of the house? She's a full-grown adult. She should be caring. If she wants more money, she should go get it herself. And still be happy that they're giving her anything, to be honest. And from what I understand, this is just spending money. It's not even like they can't buy groceries money. It's just she wants pocket money to do things. This sounds very entitled to me. My wife has asked me to increase how much I give her to make up the difference. I refuse, and I still refuse. My income didn't magically increase in a month. Indeed, like what the hell? I pointed out that she had an agreement with her parents and me, that her decrease in her money is a result of her actions. I upheld my side of the bargain. I told her she will just have to deal with a little less personal money for a couple of months until she can get her grades back up. I'm 100% certain she can do this. She maintained this isn't fair and that as her husband, I should take care of her. She said I could just lower how much I keep to myself and raise the rent since I already rent under the market price. How entitled is she? She needs money to go buy whatever because it's not for important stuff, so she just wants to take his. I understand that in a couple you share everything, but this is so entitled, my gosh. I told her I'm not raising rent and leaving people homeless in these uncertain times, and that if I give her more money from my own side, I'd almost have nothing left for myself each month. I really wish I could give her more, I do, but I can't magically make more money, and I think I deserve a little for myself as well. You do. In my opinion, her receiving minimum wage without working is enough. So am I the asshole? No, you're not. No, you're not. Absolutely not. She's very, very much entitled and selfish. I am very triggered. She's so annoying. Why would she be that annoying? It makes no sense. From what I understand, it means she probably has never worked a single day in her life. If she's 23 and she's still in school and her parent always provided money, I guess she just doesn't understand the value of money and where it comes from and how hard you have to work to get it. This is plain and simple a very, very entitled person, and it's very annoying to know that these type of people don't realize they are. Let's see what people have to say. I felt bad until I read nanny and your wife's school expenses. Frankly, she's an adult and she's lucky her parents and you are giving her anything. There are people out there studying, looking after children, and still have to work. What does your wife need the money for if you're paying for everything else? Right? For real? Like, what does she want? I'm so confused. As soon as I read the title, I was ready to call him the A. The more I read, the more I was surprised by the entitlement of the wife. It's scary how entitled she is. I cannot. Am I the a-hole for returning my husband's birthday gift to pay for the birthday cake my daughter baked after he refused to pay her? Basically the title. My daughter 16 has a thing for baking. She bakes cakes and some, I said some not all, sweet and makes money out of it by selling her work to relatives, friends, and supposedly us. My husband's, her stepdad, 45th birthday took place days ago. He asked my daughter to bake him the birthday cake and she agreed. I told him about paying her, to which he responded with, "Pay her? Get out of here. I'm her dad." I insisted, seeing she's a yes person and a people's pleaser, so won't outright demand the money from him. He said he'd pay, but days went by and he didn't pay her a cent. I decided to go ahead and sell the wristwatch I bought him as his birthday gift and pay her for him. He found out and went off on me. I told him he had enough time and should have paid her even before he received the cake. He said that I was teaching her to treat familial relationships as transactional and raising her to be materialistic. I explained the time, effort, and even money she puts toward making the cake, but he lashed out verbally, calling me an asshole for making this move and for enabling my daughter to expect so much from family that she's supposed to help with nothing in return. He's furious and told almost the whole family about how I took back his birthday gift and returned it. I got enough shame from family members to begin to think that I might be an a-hole for how I dealt with this. Am I the asshole? Y'all, my daughter did want to and expect to be paid. If she intended for it to be for free, then I would have kept my mouth shut. And also the research wasn't expensive. I kept the rest of the money after giving my daughter her share. I think this was really handled the bad way. First, he should have paid if he said he would. Personally, I would not make my dad pay for a cake, but I can understand, especially I would have given it as a gift if I could not afford anything else. Personally, that's what I would do, but if he says he's gonna pay, he should pay. But taking back the gift you gave him to pay for a cake sounds very childish in my opinion. I don't think that was the right move. I don't know if I would call her an a-hole for it, but this sounds just very, very petty. And even if he didn't do it right away, why not have a conversation with him before going ahead, taking back a gift, which means that once you give a gift, it's not yours anymore. You can't just go and take it back and keep the money after. Why would you keep the money after? Like, give him the difference, if anything. And how much was that cake? She's saying it's not that expensive, but she had enough money to pay her daughter and keep the change. So it was probably not $10, you know? And I mean, was it that No, she might be the a-hole just for how she handled the situation. Was he right in not paying if he said he should? I don't think so. But did she have to handle it that way? I really don't think so. I think it was very, very badly handled. That's a no from me. Let's see what people have to say. Info, did he think the cake was her gift to him? Who pays for the supplies? Do you pay for your own birthday cake if she makes it? I find it strange that you'd make him pay for his own birthday cake rather than pay for it yourself. True. Who asked someone to pay their own birthday cake? You're the asshole. Daughter doesn't pay for supplies. Oh, he does. Okay, well then it's a point. What did she pay? Why would you pay? I feel like in that sense, it's true. I would not make my family members pay for a cake I bake for them for their birthday when I don't buy my own cake. The mom could have definitely paid for it if she really wanted her daughter to be paid. That makes no sense. I was thinking the same thing. Couldn't the cake be the daughter's gift to him? And even if not, then why didn't the OP just pay for the cake since it was the husband's birthday? Yeah. Am I the a-hole for not praising my brother for giving me a car? Giving you a car? I mean, is it praise or thanking? I think that's different. Let's see. In our family, we have an old Camry that is a very reliable car. Back in the early 2000s, when it was new, my grandparents were gifted the car by their very elderly neighbors because my grandpa did a lot of handiwork for them and they never used it. It had less than 1,000 miles on it when they got it. The Camry served as my grandma's car for several years until she gifted it to her daughter, my mom, when she got a new car for herself. My mom used the car for a few years before also getting a new car, so she then gifted it to my oldest brother. Finally, my oldest brother used it for a couple years before he decided to get himself a new car, a nice Genesis, as he is a medical resident and soon to be making bank. When my brother got this new car, it was obvious that I was the next in line for the Camry. My other older brother has a new car already and I was driving a beater. We're also very close anyway. Instead of passing it along to me like it was passed on to him before, he offered to sell it to me for $1,200. I already didn't think much of it because I thought it was a good deal. I'm a college student and had $2,000 saved up for random stuff, and I figured $1,200 was a good price. Everybody got this car given to them. Why do you have to pay for it? Then, a couple days later, he called me up and said he would actually give it to me for free. Okay. I was ecstatic. I thought he was being so generous and I praised him for it. Well, I later learned from my mom that what actually happened was my grandma found out he was gonna charge me $1,200, called my brother up, and basically shamed him for trying to charge his college student sister $1,200 for a car that has been passed down through the family for free. He then felt guilty and decided to give it to me for free. I very much agree with the grandma. Go grandma, you did it. After learning that, I no longer praise him for giving me the car because I kind of view it more as a family car that gets passed down whenever people get a new car. I'm actually moving abroad soon and I'll be passing the Camry on to my little sister who's driving the beater that I drove before I got the Camry. I could never imagine charging her for it. I was talking to my brother on the phone today and the Camry somehow got brought up and he mentioned how nice he was to give it to me for free. I replied that he never really should try to charge me $1,200 when 1. He was gifted the car for free, 2. He's about to be a doctor, and 3. I'm in college. He got really offended and said that he could charge me if he wanted to, but he was very generous to give it to me for free. I told him that I knew that our grandma shamed him and he said it didn't matter. I get that it was his car, but I feel like it would be wrong to charge for it since it's been passed down through our family and he was just part of succession. Am I the asshole? No, you're not. He kinda is. It's true that in a way it could have been even worse and he could have just made you pay for it anyways even after grandma spoke about it. It was kind of a rough move. I do have people I know that would sell stuff to their siblings and I don't really understand that concept, but some people do that. I think it's very, very greedy of him considering how old the car is, how many times it's been passed down. Like, it's definitely not a new car. And nobody ever paid for it, and the whole family, so that makes no sense to me that he would even try to sell it to you. The iffy part is him trying to brag about how great he is for it. That's just dumb. Like, bruh. Own up to it and say like, yeah, I should have just given it to you for free. I didn't think things through or something. I don't know. You could have come up with a better way of dealing with this. I don't think you should be grateful that much. But as she said, it was a scar, so I mean, I guess out of pure politeness, I would say thank you, but I wouldn't be like kissing his feet about it. Like, it's okay, like, thanks, homie. I'm gonna give it back in a few months when I move abroad anyways. Yeah, it's just so weird when you're not the asshole, but your brother kind of sucks. It's just rough when family relationships are like that. Let's see what people have to say. Not the asshole. I bet it's been fun growing up with someone who expects immense praise for the bare minimum. Yeah, that is legit the bare minimum that he could have done for this. Like, bruh. So confident that he wants to be someone's doctor someday, isn't it? Eesh. Eesh. You can feel the compassion through his words and actions, that's for sure. Not the asshole. Your grand told him what's what. He was greedy for money, got called out for it, and now he's greedy for praise instead. I bet you this pattern will emerge in other situations as well. Definitely will. Well, that's what we have for today. Quite interesting stories. I guess it's family ties today. But that's it for today. See you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Love ya!
Hey, don't forget to subscribe.